Welcome to Workaholic Wednesday, the solo sprint and the system safeguards. So you are now streaming live on Area Judah Worldwide on our Zoom Intercept feed in tandem with the Spirit of the Game Foundation and the World of Ability Network. Today's course is engineered for maximum, learning. We want you to really be able to use the layout from today to implement some healthy lifestyle decisions. We're going to talk about three big things today. So we're going to talk about the health and stamina block. So the focus on that is personal baseline protection. So, lock in on non-negotiable health boundaries and calendar limits to prevent leader burnout. And part two is business info automation. So the focus is asynchronous operations. You want to audit your backend data flow and information routing to remove yourself as a bottleneck. And then the third part is the quantitative wins in command. So that's 10 minutes. We're talking about progress, log, and direct calls. Journal your weekly quantitative metrics and issue the tactical solo command. All right. So welcome to Workaholic Wednesday. We're streaming live. We're hitting the midweek peak today. So on Movement Monday, we audited our money and our momentum. On Tech Tuesday, we stripped out the software traps and simplified our manual workflows. Let's talk about the fuel source that powers the entire ecosystem, your physical and mental stamina. So let's shatter a massive myth right now. Workaholic in this house does not mean grinding yourself into dust until your health collapses. An exhausted founder or a burnt out humanitarian operator is a broken, useless tool. If you wreck your body, drop your personal boundaries, or sacrifice your well being to build a project, your movement is inherently unsustainable. Open your calendar right now before you schedule a single meeting, a project review, or a community sync for next week. Lock in your healthy time blocks first. Non-negotiable sleep windows, dedicated family time, intense physical exercise is so important. These are not rewards for your hard work. They're an essential maintenance for your engine. So the first thing you want to do is, get that calendar together. So if your calendar is a wall of back-to-back client meetings without a single block for rest, nutrition, or physical movement, you are operating on borrowed time. Protect your human engine first so you have the capacity to protect your mission second. All right, so the second part is business information automation. So now that the human engine is guarded, let's look at how we handle information without letting it consume our lives. So to run a social equity startup or manage direct humanitarian work out in the field, whether locally in Nashville or across global missionary networks, you must remove yourself as a manual bottleneck for routine data. You cannot spend 6 hours a day copying text, re-entering email addresses, or chasing down updates. We use business information automation to ensure that data flows seamlessly in the background while our boots are on the ground doing real work. So look at your backend setup right now. So when a high-performing individual fills out an intake form, that information must route directly into your database, notify your accountability network, and categorize their project requirements without you touching a single button. So think about the name of your biggest administrative headache, and we'd love for you to share with us. Put in the comments. So what is the one repetitive data task that keeps stealing your energy every afternoon? Whatever that task is, that is where your information automation needs to be deployed. So automate the intake, automate the logging, and preserve your cognitive bandwidth for high stakes decision making and direct human leadership. So basically figure it out and then figure out how to get it done multiple times without you having to do all of it. All right, so next is progress logging and the solo command. So the final leg of our Wednesday sprint is documenting raw progress. So unseen progress creates physiological and psychological fatigue. So when you're moving fast, it's easy to feel like you're standing still unless you unintentionally, or intentionally track your quantitative trajectory. And I always talk about quantum living. This is how you really live in the now and in the future. So, you get everything on your digital notes app, your physical notebook, or your master tracking ledger. Strip the emotion out of your work and document the hard facts of the week: your cash balances, your active intake requests, your verified community leads, closed project management tasks. Replace vague anxiety with concrete, undeniable data. So here's your Workaholic Wednesday command. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb the second this stream cuts out. Lock your health boundaries into your calendar app. Verify one automated data loop inside your intake system and record your concrete quantitative wins for the last 7 days. Tomorrow is Thread Thursday, where we open the gates back up to focus entirely on network weaving, strategic outreach, aligning with surrounding industries, and putting cold reason to our relationships. Before we cut the feed today, if you are a high-performing founder, a leader running a social equity startup, or a humanitarian operator out in the field doing work, we really want to hear your story. Please reach out to me directly via the comments below or my cell phone, 615-821-9662. Check out our main engine right now, arieljudah.com. And also reach out to me for interest in the Building Trust podcast, where we're telling the story of entrepreneurs and founders who have been able to build an amazing career, business, lifestyle, truly from trust and relationships. And that's hosted with Aaron Schroer and Tim Rosignol from Tennessee Home Inspectors and the Trusted Trade Hub. So let's put cold reason to our relationships and build uncompromised equity together. Remember the house law. What's fun gets done. Protect your health, lock in your automation, track your progress, and let's execute.